Okay, we are in part 7, use of asset. Okay, so this is optional, so it's really up to you. That means if your, let me show you. That means if your household income in 10, that means your current annual household income, if this number is under the poverty guideline, 125, in the table I already show you how to do it. If it's under this value, so you may think about using asset. Okay, you may think about using asset. Also, even though if this number is below the poverty guideline, you may decide to leave this blank and choose to have a joint sponsor. So you see what I mean? Even though, let's say your uh, annual household income is below the poverty guideline, okay, you may choose to let this part 7 blank and choose a joint sponsor. Okay, you know, the joint sponsor gonna fill separately another affidavit of support. Okay, so let's say you don't have any joint sponsor, so your only options is to use your asset, so you're gonna use this one. So this sponsor need to complete these sections only if his or her annual household income in item 10 is not enough to meet the poverty guideline. Okay, uh, so if you decide to use your asset, let's say you decide to use your asset, let's say real estate as like your house or car, if you must submit evidence of the value of the asset. That means you must submit proof, okay, of that you own this asset. The sponsor you can use a your asset. The sponsor, you can use your asset. You can also use the asset of any member of your household size. That means, let's say if you have member in your household size, that means you count them in your household size. Let's say if you have an adult child or a brother, you counted them in your household size. You can also use the asset of these member of your household size. You know what, you can even use asset of the intended immigrant. Okay, so you have this choice, but remember, every time you use either asset or income of other member, this person have to sign the form I-864A. This form give you authorizations to use either income or asset of this person. So you just can decide to use asset of a person if this person don't give you the authorizations. That's why if you are using asset of a member in your household size, this person has to fill out the form I-864E, I-864A. Okay, so but regarding asset, it's only asset that can be converted into cash within 1 year without considerable hardship or financial loss. So if you have an asset that not easily that you cannot convert in cash within 1 year, you cannot use this asset. Okay, so let's say you the sponsor, the owner, let's say if you have an asset, let's say a house, you have to include description of the asset, proof, you have to give proof that you really own this asset, as well as the basis of claiming the net cash value of the asset. So let's say if you have a home, it's not the you have to put the net cash value. What we intend by net cash value, that means there is the value of the home, but let's say if you have like some some let's say you have if you have some line against this house, let's say if you borrow some money, so it's the net cash value of the house. And also you will need an appraiser to give you the value of the house minus any mortgage debt, that will give you the net cash value of the house. So understand, using your house, you really need an appraiser to the appraiser must sign document that state your house have such a value. Okay, so as you can see, when you use your house, you're gonna spend an additional money to hire an appraiser. Okay, so you can include also the net value of your automobile, but unless you have two automobiles. So if you have just one car, you cannot use put the car as an asset. Because why? Because which mean if you have just one car, which mean it's gonna be tough for you. They say use of asset that don't involve considerable hardship. It's like if you have just one car and you can, especially in USA, you can't live without a car. Okay, so you have to have at least two cars, and you're gonna use one of them like an asset. If you have just one car, you cannot use it. Sorry, okay, you cannot use it. So you can also, like here, put the value of your saving, checking, your bank account. You can put them here. Okay, then that means the balance of saving and checking. Okay, even though if you use it, you will need your bank to give you a letter that state that you have such a balance. Okay, that's a, you will type here in item 1 the balance of saving. Let's say, I don't know, if it is 15,000, that means saving and checking both together. Okay, in 2 you will input, if you have if you have a home, you will put the net cash value of the home, not the real value, because you have to make the reduction of any mortgage debt in your other line. Okay, uh, so if you have stock bond, you will put the value of the stock of bond. And then in item 4, this will be the total. Let's say if the total, I don't know, let's say 17,500, just an example, that will be your total asset. Okay, so uh, now the next step is for 5 use of asset of supplemental income. So this is where you would put asset of other member in your household size. Let's say in your household size you add your border, you put your border in your household size, you will put the name here, and you will here indicate the total. Let's say if you're gonna use the, I don't know, the total value of your border is 1,000, an example, 200. Okay, just an example. So that's here, you just put, you will put the name of your border here. Okay, whatever the person that, the family member that is in your household size, that you counted in your household size, you will put the value of his asset here if you want to put his asset. Okay, because it is really optional. Let's say if you want to use the you see what, that's really nice. You can even use asset of the sponsored immigrant. Even this person may be overseas, or this person may also be in USA. We know there are some people, they are still on visa and they are in USA. So you will put here saving and checking account for the intended immigrant. If the intended immigrant have some real estate, you will put it here. And this here, this will be the total. Let me just give an example. 2,000 total asset of the intended immigrant. Okay, so let's say 2,000 plus a, this is 17,000 plus 2,000 give me 19,500 plus plus 20,700. Okay, just give a number. That's the total asset, 20,700. This is just an example. Okay, that's really the total of asset. Okay, so understand, a item 10 give you the value of all asset. Remember, you use this asset because you are looking for to offset the difference between your household income with the poverty guideline. Remember, your household income is on 10. Okay, here you got your household income, so you are looking for, you would like to offset, because your household income is below the table of the poverty line. You are trying to make the difference here using your asset. Okay, you are trying to make the difference using your asset. Okay, so but unfortunately, you just cannot take this value and then say, oh, ooh, I got it. No, that's not enough to just add it. You have to make a divisions. So you have to divide this value by 5. Okay, that means it's like 5 times the difference. Okay, let's say if you miss, I don't know, 1000, let's say if you miss 5000, it should be, let's say if the difference was an example, let's say if the difference was 1000, that means you miss 1000. So your asset should be 5000 because you have to divide the total asset by 5. By 5 if you are a permanent resident, but you will divide it by 3 if you are a US citizen that is petitioning for wife or minor child. Okay, I repeat again, residents, you're gonna divide this value by 5 and add it just to see if it's okay. US permanent resident, not every US, but if the US citizen, not every US, if the US citizen is petitioning for wife or minor child, that means child under 21, you just divide it by 3. Okay, otherwise it should be 5 times. Okay, that's the way it is if you want to use your asset. Okay, that's the way it is. I hope, just if the difference is not too big, let's say it's just 500, you can just use your, if you have enough money in your bank account, you just have, let's say you short from 500, 5 times 500 is 2500. So if you have only 2500 in your saving and checking, you're okay. Okay, it depends of, but like I said, if you want to use house, it's really tough. You will need to hire appraiser, and so it's really up to you. If you can't find, because you have the option here also to let this blank and to let someone else fill it like a joint sponsor, a friend, because the joint sponsor may not live in your house, even though it's a friend that is living somewhere else. If this person is a US citizen or a permanent resident, you just can fill it, the affidavit of support separately like a joint sponsor. That's all for part 7 about use of asset. So let's jump to part 8. It's really about reading the contract. Okay, you just mainly talk about your obligation, what you're entitled to. Okay, that's when will this obligation end. Okay, and then you have here, we are in part 8, you have here to print, not type. That's really important, part 8. That means you have mainly to use a black pen, and just it's better to print it instead of on the computer. I would advise you to print sponsor name here and sign. So sign is really with your pen. You just cannot, you will use your pen, a black pen, to sign, and then just also to put your name here. So because part 8 is only about reading all the obligation that you have, like a sponsor, and then here you will just with a black pen, you will clearly tap your name here. Let's say if you put Joan Laguerre, just an example, you will not with, I will advise you to use a black pen to write it here, and then here you will sign here, and you will put the date here. Okay, so with power 9, let it blank. Power 9 is only if you hire a preparer. So I guess if you're watching this video, you're gonna do it by yourself. You don't really need the preparer, so you will let this blank, because this is really about the preparer. So if you're watching this video, you want to do it by yourself, you're not gonna spend your money. So let power 9 blank, because since if you're watching this video you're gonna do it by yourself, you don't really need power 9. Power 9 is about informations about the preparer. Okay, so that's really all for the affidavit of support. So I think if you follow all the information, you will really get it. We will put down there some other frequently asked questions. Okay, check here, you may see some frequently asked questions and try to get those answer. Okay, thank you.